Okay, so this video is going to be about value studies and how do you take away the most that you can from these quick drawings. So whenever I'm sitting down to do a value study, I try to capture the essence of whatever person I'm drawing or whatever the subject is. And remember, this doesn't have to be about putting down details like every eyelash or every strand of hair that you see. And that is me assuming that you can even do that sort of a thing.
So we don't have the capacity.
So the reference that I'm using in this value study is of Rocky, and well, I'm just starting with the basic sketch and like outlining the shapes that I see. And to do this part of the sketching, you can use grids or even Loomis method. And I think Loomis method is great, but if you're using grids to like sketch these things and you use grids like all the time, I have this one suggestion, like you try to move away from it and you try some freehand sketching from time to time. And the reason for that is because you will learn how to see things, you will learn how to observe your references, and this is, let's be honest, this is the holy grail of trying to sketch anything. And that goes for literally anything and everything. Like you can sketch humans, you can sketch cats, you can sketch whatever you want. And that's because fundamentals always translate to like better drawings. And another thing to keep in mind is, I think I gave this tip in my previous video as well, is to be gentle with each stroke and each value that you put down on the paper. And the reason for that is you need to push the contrast, like you need to have those planes which are facing towards the light, and you can only do that when you use like kneadable eraser or like pencil eraser. And believe me, you will not have an easy time getting that graphite out of the tooth of the paper if you have applied too much force in the early stages of the drawing. When you're done outlining the subject, you can get a napkin or a brush to just smudge away the hard lines, because real life does not have hard lines. After all of this is done, it's a good idea to just look at your reference and decide which edges you want to define in the drawing. If the information conveyed by the edges has to be there, then you can put a hard edge there. But if you want to have lost edges like I will have that in the video, I think in the jawline area, and that's just basically to let the viewer do the work. So decide which edges do you want in which place. And there's so much fun to be had while you're playing with the edges. And to be honest, if you ask me for like the 3 things that I would want you to be careful about while you're starting out portraits, this would be like the number 1 thing, because edges just convey so much information. And if you're conscious about those edges, then you just have a lot of different ways to communicate with the viewer. So hard edges are like basically 2 planes which are separated by a clear hard line. Like it can be a cast shadow, and the soft edges are like when the plane is slowly shifting away from the source of the light. Like it happens a lot in the cheek area in portraits. And you have to get better at those reflections of, like if you're replicating a portrait, you just have to get better at representing those changes in forms. Something that helped me out to have like different values without changing the amount of pressure that I was applying is just have like different grades of pencils. In this video you can see me using 2H for like the basic skin tone, and then I'll transition to HB, 2B, and then I think 10B or 12B for like the darkest shades to represent their hair. And that is just a catalyst to the whole process, because you don't need to vary the amount of pressure that you're applying. And if you're just getting into drawing and like even portraits, then I guess you just be patient with yourself and give yourself time, because as simple as this sounds, it is not that easy to do. That's unfortunate, right? Like I get why people think that it's an innate ability in some people, that oh my god, he can draw, but you also have to sit with it and give it time, right? I give myself like 3 hours for each of these value studies. And I've recorded like different stages of the process, so I hope you enjoy watching those.
29 and I find myself wondering what did happen to the last 10. I ran away with my life, fast forward, never turn back again. It's kind of funny that the more we pass time, the more we need to set the rewind. And 19 was the year I had to leave you, but now I'm seeing all the signs. Is this really happening? I can't believe it's true. I'm just as surprised as you. Is this really happening? I can't be too sure, but one day I'll be yours again. Life lessons come one in a dozen. The other 11 give something from nothing. I sit here looking for an answer. Maybe the biggest question was in the last chapter. You gave me the soul I have today. Without you I never could have moved away. But now I see what you teach. I do believe I always should have stayed. Yeah. Is this really happening? I can't believe it's true. I'm just as surprised as you. Is this really happening? I can't be too sure, but one day I'll be yours again. One day I'll be yours. One day I'll be yours. One day I'll be yours. Life lessons come one in a dozen. The other 11 give something from nothing. Life lessons come one in a dozen. The other 11 give something from nothing. Life lessons come one in a dozen. The other 11 give something from nothing. Life changes just open the door. One thing's certain, I'll always be yours.